Nigeria Tax Administration Establishment Bill, Nigeria Tax Bill, and also Nigeria Tax Administration Bills. All these reforms have been transmitted to the National Assembly for deliberation. All these controversies are avoidable if are being carefully handled. This Northern Governors Forum rejected the new tax reform bills. National Economic Council, which is the composition of the state governors from the northern and the southern extraction, rejected the tax reform bills. Traditional rulers and even northern democratic leagues and other Islamic clerics. But the most important aspect is for a wider consultation. Most of these governors who have been trying to reject or have rejected the new tax reform bills have not deeply go into the details of the bills. The tax administration bill and the tax reform bill. If they have gone deeply on it, the governors will not be crying foul and not be complaining loudly. These governors who are saying that it will increase the hardship, the governors are responsible for the economic failure, insecurity, chronic unemployment, acute poverty, and educational backwardness in the northern region. The northern leaders of today are not compared. You cannot compare them with the northern leaders of yesterday. If you look at the legacies of the late Ahmadu Bello Sardauna of Sokoto, he left a very important economic, social legacies. Today, they are nowhere to be found in the northern Nigeria. Arewa Textile, Bank of the North, New Nigerian Newspaper, Northern Nigeria Development Corporation, and many economic enterprise. Kaduna Refinery is not working. When the Mr. President also withdrew the police subsidy, which of the governors in the northern region have complained loudly or cried foul? When the electricity tariff have been increased, which of the governors have cried loudly or complained loudly that the other segment of the country is substanding the northern extraction? So these leaders of today are power drunk, and they are intoxicated by politics, and they only want this money to be allocated to them from the federation account for personal enrichment, not for development of the northern region.
All right. Okay.
So
you get all of that. To him, the younger people from northern Nigeria that are attacking Barawo, Jubri, the deputy Senate president, they are misinformed, because the backwardness of the north today is not caused by Tinubu, but by the political class of the north. He's right on that. He is. Maybe not totally right, because Tinubu's policies have even added to the whatever backwardness the northern Nigeria has been facing. Similarly, we now have the Alimajiri in the south as well, no thanks to Bokuwari and Tinubu. The last 18 months of people's lives in southern part of Nigeria as well, right? Can't be like, say, Bokuwari was like a, it was like a savior, if you compare both. But the bottom line is this, right? There are those who believe that if everyone may fall, there's never been any real benefit anyway. You understand? Like if they say, oh, we are going to have less money this bill is going to give us less money. And they're like, well, when you are actually getting more money, what was the benefit? Especially to Northern Nigeria, what was the exact benefit, Gogo? There was no real benefit. So if you are coming out today and you are like screaming and all of that, you are posting it, blah, blah, blah. He even said that some of them never read the bills. That's one argument that some people in support of Tinubu, they themselves have not read the bill. But their line of argument is that people who are criticizing it have not read it. I know some of you too, you have not read the bill. You're just listening to opinions here and there. I have. I shared the link to the bill on this platform the last time we were here. I don't think many of you probably touched it or opened it. Did you? I'm not good at cramming. I would have been quoting section, subsection for you. And that's how I got to see the fraud. Too much words, too many words. Reading, you know, some of them repetition. But you can see it's like hiding fraud in plain sight. They know that you won't read it. Yeah? Over 200 pages. Who won't read all of that? People will be like, who won't read all of that? I don't get time, Jerry. Tell me what there's talk. What did they say? What did they say inside it, Mayegu? They said that they will strangulate you in another 1 or 2 years. You know. Or they said, oh, in another 1 or 2 years, you are going to be living in wealth. Everybody will be fine. Are you sure? Yes. That's exactly what most people are following. And I understand. I do understand why people have become so frustrated enough that who want to read all of that? You should. I can get you a copy again if you want to. Or you can Google it. It's right there online. Try. After this program, try and read it. I know you probably will not really understand it. But it is a fraud hidden in plain sight. You know? Obarawo has his own supporters who also stormed the National Assembly today. That they support the bill. Do you think these ones have read it? These ones, do they even understand what it is all about?
That the tax reform bill is in order and Nigerians should work towards its perfection and also her progress.
Yes, sir.
For so long, we have lived on a decadence of tax reforms that has not produced anything good or meaningful to this nation.
No, sir.
We from the north, we are categorically in support of this tax reform bill. And let me tell you one thing. To those who are for the past few days castigating Senator Jibril Barrow, they are nothing but enemies of the north, enemies of Nigeria, enemies of our generation, enemies of progress, and they are supporters of disrogation. We call on Nigerians here, as we have vowed, we shall continue to voice from one state to the other, from one region, from Middle Belt, from North Central, Northwest, Northeast. We shall canvass, and this bill, by the grace of God, shall see the light of the day. Amen. We pray that Mr. President will not relent. The President of the Senate, supported by Senator Jibril Barrow, Deputy Senate President, must ensure that this very bill is looked into properly and see that it is passed. It's a germane issue. It is something that is overdue. It is something that Nigerians should look forward to making progress. We cannot continue to stand stagnant. This is our own generation. Generations of those who have led this country in the past have failed us. We are in support of this very generation. The man himself, who is the chairman of the tax review, came out to list the what people we are thinking before. We are just personal things that will Alpha consultant. Will it be the consultant of the entire project? These are small, little, cheap things. What we are looking at is what comes to the states. And the man have said that, for instance now, if you have, formally you have 5%. With this reform bill now, you should be able to have about 15 to 20%. So it's a progress. We cannot continue to stand stagnant for decades, years and years. So this is just what we.
Your name again, sir?
My name is Atijani Kabir Mohammed.
Alpha consultant. In Abuja, if you have money, you can mobilize 1,500 people and give them placard. They do it all the time to start with. In Kogi, they are also deliberating on it, what they stand to gain. And one of them was explaining to the people why this bill will actually help them in Kogi too, in his own explanation.
We have created a lot of economic activities. All of us sitting here. So most of you have made call, and some of you are still calling. And as you are making the call, they are taxing you. And whatever you are going to get as tax, when they are paying, they will pay in Lagos, because the headquarters of the company is in Lagos. And when the money hits to Lagos, Lagos will benefit. So all of us will get nothing from it, because the law, the existing law, supported the point of remittance. It's not talking of the point where you consume it. After the network, we have people that we have Dangote. Dangote should be, if not the highest, should be the second in terms of payment of VAT in Nigeria. The company is here. And also we have Manga. When they are paying their VAT, they pay in Lagos. What we enjoy here in Kogi is the degradation of our roads. They help us to spoil the road and making the government to be sweating, while we are not getting anything. So we want to now sit down and say, this law, let's find a way of determining what was consumed in Kogi, so that if they are to pay anything in terms of derivation they are talking about, even though it is 60%, it can benefit Kogi State. If it's at the point of consumption, and we know this thing will favor us with enough data, we don't say, please, even this 60% you are looking for is too small. Let's make it 80, so that Kogi can get enough money. But we need to develop this state to make it very attractive. It is not just a thing that only us can do. We can do it when all of us sit down and look at the bills and other things critically for the betterment of all of us. Thank God there is no minimum wage, of which my governor, the chief servant, is the first to announce, implement, and people are enjoying it. We have created a lot of economic activities.
I mean, it's quite interesting though, right? That people are discussing an attempt of Tinubu to put all of Una inside one pangolo and make you feel like it is in your own interest. And then you see those who are in support and those who are against. If you want to read it, maybe after the program, sit down and just go through it, all right? I send the link into the comments. Take your time, just for the education, for educational purposes only. Just, read it. You see the whole thing than what everyone is telling you. You will see the whole scam hidden in plain sight. Here. That's the copy. The link is in the comment section, right? A bill, there are like 4 bills. Okay, 4. And all of them are just about collecting taxes, different kind of taxes. Even though the only one that people talk most about is the consumption tax, which is the VAT. And then the sharing. The companies that will pay it, those who are not going to pay tax. But, you are going, once you escape this one, you can possibly not really escape the other one. Something that, just put honey on top stone and call it maybe call it a honey bread. You get? And what you have to do is that once it's only when people begin to consume it. You know, first thing when you take it, oh, more onion bread. You don't know that it's actually stone, okay? Oh my God, it's so sweet. Onion bread. Oh my God. Oh my God. Then, 50 to your, then 5. I will be here. APC telling you that something is in your interest, and you actually believe them. I shall be here. Tinubu told people that all of you now, you have been living fake good life before he came to power. Yeah? He said that you are buying a liter of petroleum, or you are spending 200 naira for your on your transportation. Those are fake good life. That you are able to feed your children, you are able to fuel your car, you are able to run your business despite the hostile environment that they have created for business people in that contraption. That all of that were fake good life. And you do not deserve that. So right now, it is, whatever you are going through right now in that contraption is the real life now. It is the real life. That some of you have had to pack your cars. Some of you have had to lose your jobs. Some of you have had to choose between paying for your medication or just going to Uriuke for prayer, to pray to God to heal you, right? You have to choose between this or that to stay alive. That is the real life from Tinubu. Inside the Arise studio, they had a chat around that earlier.
Thought they lived or they were living prior to his administration was fake and capable of collapsing the country. The president, who was represented by Wahab Egbewole, the vice chancellor of the University of Ilorin, spoke over the weekend during a convocation ceremony of the Federal University of Technology, Akure in Ondo State. Tinubu was quoted to have said that the removal of petrol subsidy and the unification of exchange rates were necessary to save Nigeria from the brink of collapse. Well, he's quoted as saying, unfortunately, the good life we thought we were living was a fake one that was capable of leading the country to a total collapse unless drastic efforts were urgently taken. The need to salvage the future of our children and bring the country back from its brink of collapse necessitated the strategic decisions to remove the fuel subsidy and also unify the exchange rates. I am not unaware of the consequences of the tough decisions on our people. I sincerely wish there could be softer options. Rufi.
With due respect, this is wrong. Nigerians were not living any fake life. It was not as if when the first subsidy was there, life was a whole lot better for Nigerians. It was just a measure to make things easier. There was still massive poverty. There was still massive pain. Even when Nigerians went abroad and they claimed they subsidized the naira, to the dollar, which was about 600, 700 then, how many people could really even afford that money? The economy was depressed. So you say Nigeria was living fake life. There was no living, it was not that we're living in paradise. But what we're telling President Tinubu every time is, did you think of the effect of destroying the lives further and devaluing the lives before you embarked on it? Mr. Cardozo was saying that they've saved over 6 trillion on subsidies for Forex. Asking how much in our GDP has reduced since all of these 2 monstrous measures have taken place in Nigeria. I can give you some figures. Nigeria's GDP, as at when the APC met it in 2015, before they decided to go ahead and lead us on this path of destruction, was inching close to 500 billion. Today, the GDP is more than half of that amount. The lives have been destroyed. Some projection says our GDP is now 199 billion. Do you want to prorate that in trillions of naira of how much has been lost in this economy? So they have not been productive. Is it the corruption we want to talk about? Is it the fakery that is going on? They are the ones that are fake. Do you know how many times they've told us Port Harcourt refinery is ready? Is that not the one giving us fake news? Didn't they tell us that it was mechanically complete at the start of the year? They said it was going to be ready in August, not ready. Now, and please, for the sake of people, what they did was simply a production unit churned out, the naphtha that they now have to go and blend with C5, crack C5, because they don't have the converter unit that will convert the naphtha, the hydrocarbons in there, into something of high octane ratings. That refinery is not 100% complete. This is something they've took 1.5 billion for over 44 months. We are already 42 months away. Techni Monty announced that thing on the 6th of April, 2021. 42 months down the line. Techni Monty's announcement was that by 44 months' time, both complexes, the 150,000 barrel refinery and 60,000, will be working. 42 months in, they've just achieved 70% of the 60,000 barrels because they don't have a converting unit. Now, for all of them that are saying blending is an international practice, if you have a full-on converting unit, once you provide the naphtha, you have a converter that will be able to crack further the hydrocarbon. You don't need to go and get external C5 and now blend. Why is Dangote Refinery not doing that? Because they have the full-on units. So people should stop deceiving people. And the NNPC, after we revealed their lies, even confirmed that that's what they are doing. That they are taking the naphtha they are providing from their own column and they are going to crack it with, blending with crack C5. They are getting from Indorama. So they are the ones that have been faking Nigerians all this while. All the projects, the money they said they were going to save, invest in other projects, they've been faking Nigerians, or they are the ones that have been lying to Nigerians. They are the ones that are living fake life. Is President Tinubu not the one living fake life? A country that doesn't have money, you are buying new private jets, presidential jets, that you didn't even pass through the National Assembly. Today, we don't know how much to spend on that big, bogus jet. Is that not fake life? Stop.
Because that's exactly what the Ronukus I've always been telling you. We need to remove, the reason why we removed subsidy was because we are living fake life. It was for your own interests. And then the voluntary slaves. Ah, man, Nigerians don't suffer. Chai. Una don't suffer. Abusive relationship. You know something about abusive relationship? Stockholm syndrome. You always blame yourself. It is your fault. When your abusive partner smash your head, slap you, kick you, do all of that, you begin to blame yourself that maybe you are the one who made him angry. Or maybe if I am acting nice, maybe he's going to, he loves me. He says he loves me. And I think he loves me. I must have offended, I must have provoked him. It must be my fault that he is so angry. I need to act nice next time. Oh, it is my fault that the Nigerian naira is falling. It is our fault because we all love to live fake life. They said it's because we are living fake life. That is why the Nigerian refinery is not working. That is why we are importing fuel. Oh, that is why, because we love to eat rice. And that is why the whole thing is expensive. Maybe we should start eating gari. Or maybe we should even be, why are we even eating 3 times a day? Who was that doctor? Who actually brought the idea of eating 3 times a day? When we can always eat once a day or twice at most. We need to be disciplined. See, if we want our naira to work, we need to go back to farm. All of us need to go back to farm. We need to begin to grow food. We need not the criminals whose policies, failures, have brought about this destructive existence that you are witnessing in that contraption today. Not them. Our leaders are trying. And they cannot do everything. All of us, we need to do something ourselves. Let me tell you something. It is not the fault of our leaders. What about you? How many people have you helped in your community? How many people have you given food? We should know that we should be helping people. It's not everything government. Abusive relationship. It is always your fault. It is your fault that you are eating rice and chicken, princess. That's why you are complaining that chicken and rice is expensive. Why can't you eat a tuwo shinkafa? Must you eat 3 times a day? Let us tell ourselves, it's not even healthy. If you see some people, everything is food. Can't you talk about something else? Must you talk about food? Abusive relationship. And the criminal politicians are pretty much like, they can never thank their stars enough. 2 days ago, Obi said, don't let anybody tell you that Nigeria is poor. Okay.
So everybody, and you can go on and on. And what they give you is the excuse. So you must use the measures other people use. Let nobody tell you Nigeria is a poor country. It's a very rich country. It's a country that can feed itself. Today, Ukraine is at war, but Ukraine sent grain to Nigeria to help them fight hunger. Because we are number 109 hungriest country in the world.